This video is sponsored by Skillshare. Check out this neck breaker. Kind of pretty tight, right? This bass line is what I wanted to focus in on today because audio warping for me was a very underutilized tool until recently. So here's the loop without it warped up. Not bad, right? But it could be this. Immediately. So lately I've shown myself using my modular system with Ableton Live, and one thing I kind of mentioned but I want to devote a bit more time to today is audio warping my recordings of my modular system to create even better loops and ideas within my music. So the setup for today is an incredibly simple setup. Basically, I have MIDI coming from Ableton Live into my modular system over USB, and I've adjusted the timing within the preferences, minus 16 millis or minus 13.8. It's going to be different for you. Basically, I lock it in so it's right on the money, sort of. I mean, if it was perfect, we probably wouldn't be speaking here about this right now, right? Within the modular system, I have marbles running my sequence in that super duper weird funky bass player patch, which I went into a lot of great detail in this video here. But other than that, long story short, Scales is sending out gates whenever marbles sends out a new pitch. So let's say we're here, right? And I want to make a new bass line. I'd go ahead and basically record on my track here in live and just hit record and record, I don't know, however many bars you want. So this is insanity, of course. Oh, right, that's why. There it is. Okay, cool. So now that that's all recorded in, this is where I feel like I'm kind of like sifting for gold. I have all this material that I can work with, right? And basically what I want to do is set my loop point and go through the clip and listen to find that bass line that I want. It's really easy to do this. Basically, you make sure that you have loop turned on here. I like leaving warp on because, we're talking about audio warping. And what I want to do is basically just find a bar and just hit Command L, and that's going to allow me to loop this portion of this this recording. Let me try one more thing. If I select this, can I just hit loop here? I cannot, but what I can do is I can drag this loop portion around. So let's go over here to where I kind of got it a bit more normal. We'll zoom in a bit and let's just hit play and see what it sounds like. Oh, my bad, still got this armed and I did not launch the clip. Yeah, see, that's an idea right there. I'm gonna go ahead and hold down Option and drag this over so I can copy a new clip. We'll go ahead and copy and play this one. Let's see where this goes. That's all right, let's try this. Let me drag it over a little more. And you can see that I have these grid marks here essentially set to about a 16th because this allows me to find a new loop easily without having to go too granular with it. And if you want, you can hold down Command while moving this around and it will basically take you off of the grid. But this just, again, allows you to find new weird bass lines within your already recorded bass line. Let's see what this sounds like. Pretty cool. Not cool at all. Let me just choose one random. We'll go here. Okay, so this one works. It's pretty decent, right? It sounds pretty cool, but I find that with the modular systems, Honestly, with all the different modules and manufacturers, they all handle signal differently. Some are later than others, and some are earlier, some are digital, some are analog. There are just so many different moments and times and chances for things to not perfectly align. So no matter how many times I lock in my system, timing wise, there will always be some weirdness at some point, especially with like this weird ass bass patch I got going on here, where Scales is sending out gates dependent on it detecting a potentially new pitch from marbles. Honestly, I don't know why I do these things to myself. Actually, you know what? I do know why I do these things to myself. I do it in the name of creativity and exploration. So I'm going to hold my head up high on this one. But basically, with all the weirdness that may occur, this is where we can refine our idea and potentially make something completely unique and new that we may have otherwise never have come up with. So quickly, before we really lock this loop into the grid and make it our own, especially matching up with our beat, let me give a quick shout out to one of my favorite sponsors, Skillshare. Last time I spoke of Skillshare, I mentioned the MKBHD class about his start to finish process on his content creation.
I think a lot of YouTubers get the question, how do you stay motivated or stay inspired? Or why do you keep doing this? Hey, what's up? MKBHD here.
And with MKBHD being one of my absolute favorite channels to watch, I immediately hopped on the chance to learn right from him. I was honestly blown away by how much I learned from this class. Not only was it inspiring, it was extremely educational and probably one of the best crash courses I have ever taken on anything. It made me rethink a lot about my own channel and see its full potential. In the class, he covers topics like research, planning, writing, scripting, set design, optimizing your channel, growing your channel, and just so much more. It's literally a start to finish class on what it takes to become a content creator. And in case you're not familiar, Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of ad-free classes for all skill levels and topics ranging from plant care to mastering your music and practically everything you can think of in between. And now Skillshare's entire catalog has subtitles for Spanish, French, Portuguese, and German. So if Skillshare is something you're interested in, the first 1,000 people to use the link in the description below will get a 1-month trial of Skillshare. That's plenty of time to take some classes on your interests. So thank you again to Skillshare for supporting the channel. And with that, let's get back into it. All right, here we're looking at this loop. I can zoom in a bit more. And you can see it's pretty on, it's pretty close, but just feel the difference before and after I lock this in. Again, I'm gonna go ahead and duplicate this just so we can really compare the two. So immediately you can see that this one's a little funky. I'm gonna drag that over, but you gotta be careful because see, I'm dragging this over, it kind of removes, or it kind of moves everything. So what I really wanna do, let me just make this as big as possible. I'm gonna lock some of these in just to kind of get me to a reference point. And again, I locked this in with Steppy on the modular system and I had it dead on, but with marbles and all this weirdness that I have going on, stuff happens. So I locked that one on, I locked that one on. I know my loop start point is going to be right here where this little flag is at. So this one I want to be dead on the money. We're going to put it right there, kind of shifts this over. You can see that that start point's a little early. I'm going to go ahead and drag that over just a bit. Cool, that'll work. And honestly, just with something as simple as that, we can go ahead and see what that kind of feels like. Let me see. Not bad, right? We can still take this a little further and I'm gonna go ahead and push this on and let's just lock them all in. Why not, right? We have the ability to, let's go ahead and take advantage of it. I'm just double clicking on these suggested warp markers and then just dragging them on. And then for this one here, I'm gonna go ahead and pull that one off. I like the tail end because it kind of covers the ending of this loop here. Now let's see if we can hear the difference. You can just tell it's a bit looser, right? So let me quickly say that this is all personal preference. Honestly, the reason I never utilized audio warping to its full potential was because of my ignorance disguised as a misguided belief that you shouldn't be warping audio because the algorithm's not good or the bass notes might not sound right or things should sound right from the moment you record it in. It wasn't until I started experimenting with letting go of these rules and kind of laid back on trying to compare things to one another and find like the perfect solution. And I just focused in on making music. That's kind of when I started realizing the full potential and power of things like this, because we can utilize things like its sound or crappy warping to possibly make something cool. Like, for example, listen to this first locked in sample. Like this bass note right here, it is way off. Originally, it is way over here, but I decided to stretch it all the way over here, which results in this almost like whipping sound into the clap. Like, how the hell else am I supposed to do that? I can't stretch audio in real time that perfectly and that crappily at the same time to come up with this type of unique texture. Do you see where I'm going at with this? Anyway, I'm probably just going to leave it at this because I want you to go explore a bit and just get experimental, get weird. You're a weirdo. Welcome to the club. So again, thanks again for stopping by. I hope to see you again next week. And until then, you already know the drill. Share the love, share the knowledge. Knowledge is power. Peace. Let's make another bass line real quick. So let's just jam on it. This is the modulation I had going on before. I was going to the timbre amount because listen to this. Let's just do that with a sample and hold. We'll go to 6. Oh, that was the loop right there. Yeah.